Hi, folks. This is Dr. Don again. I want to take a few minutes and give you an overview of the Module 3 assignment. Now, this assignment, we're really starting to get into some useful tools. You're going to learn about business analytics or business data analysis, I should say. And in this module, we're going to focus on a very powerful tool, regression, linear regression. And it is a tool I hope you really get into. The scenario for this assignment is a little bit different. We've gone away from fast technologies, and we're going to ask and answer a simple question. How much does the fact that a home has a fireplace add to its value? So that is the background. We've got a data set that I'll show you in a second, but first I want to just walk through. This is the typical assignment that we've seen in modules 1 and 2, the scenario, some background information, and then as we get into it, we're giving information. Remember, you'll download the assignment spreadsheet, and that's where you'll do your work. And I'm going to show you an example of what that final product would look like here shortly. But as you go through in the course, we've got, again, the how-to videos that I think you will find very helpful. So let me jump over in the data file, the Excel file you download. Of course, the first tab is the grading rubric, which you should become familiar with. You can see how much each step in the assignment is valued for. The next thing I want to show you here, and this is an actual student's file that was submitted. This student did create a nice index. It's something I hope you do when you do your assignments as well. These are the data that are in this data file. It is an actual set of home prices. Now, I've deleted a lot of the variables that were in the original data set. It's out of the Northeast. I'm blanking for the minute at which state it was from, but it's obviously a place where a lot of people have fireplaces. So in it, we've got a number of variables: lot number, home price, lot size, waterfront, yes or no, age of the house, the land value, new construction, central air. What we're going to focus on, though, is primarily the living area and whether or not there's a fireplace. So the first thing you need to do, because the first question, you have to run a two-sample t-test, and you need to separate your data into two piles: houses with and houses without a fireplace. And the best way to do that is to use a pivot table. We've got a video that shows you how to do the pivot table, and you can drag the values in and set up a filter for fireplace true and fireplace false. And then once you sort those out, you can just copy this column of home prices and then paste them into the appropriate column on your t-test calculator we have in that file. Once you get the data, then make sure you understand whether you have the with and without, which way you have it, so you understand the question you're asking here. And after you paste the data in, it will populate the calculator. We recommend that in this case, we don't hypothesize a mean difference. We just leave it at 0, leave it at 0.05. We're going to make this not equal, and then we can get the rest of our answers here. In the file I give you, it gives you information about whether to use a two-tail, left tail, or right tail. Generally, we use a two-tail test. We just want to know, is there a difference, a statistically significant difference either way? Remember, if the p-value is less than 0.05, then there is a significant difference. So that's question 1. Question 2, we want to do a scatter chart. And now we go back to our data, and here I've just simplified with the two variables we want, the living area and the home price. And this is all the data points with and without fireplaces. And we create a scatter chart that looks something like this. In this third step, we're going to do a linear regression. And we use that same two columns of data, home price and living area, again, all of the homes with and without, and we run a linear regression. We see if it's statistically significant. It's the p-value less than 0.05 here. And then we use the equation of the regression line to estimate the price for three sizes of homes. Pretty straightforward. 3C, though, we want to calculate a prediction interval and a confidence interval about those predicted values. Remember, the confidence interval is what we use when we're trying to predict the mean price, the average, and we use the prediction interval when we want to focus in on a single data point. So that's why the prediction interval is usually bigger. And we have a calculator there that you can use. You just paste in those values, the X's and the Y's, the area and the prices. Excuse me, I've got that backwards. This is the area here. For some reason, I got it formatted as dollars, and the price I don't have formatted as dollars. But it doesn't matter. It will calculate appropriately, and then you put in the size of the home, and it will give the PI and the CI that you would report on your final submission. And here I just copied in those appropriate sections 3 times. Then we do question 4. In question 4, we're going to do a multiple regression. And we're going to use that categorical variable for the fireplace. You've got to go through and do a replace. With the false, turn that into a 0, and true to 1s. And then run the multiple regression, and we show you how to do that. And again, use the equation to come up with estimates for the price with and without a fireplace. And then the difference there you can use as one estimate of the value of the fireplace. Question 5, we're going to separate that data again, with and without fireplace, and then construct a scatter chart showing both. And we have a video that shows you how to do that. Question 6, we're going to get a little more sophisticated here. We're going to have an interaction. And we show you what that is and how to calculate that. And you run the multiple regression much like you did before, but now we've got this interaction variable as well. So once you get those things, the final part is to write a report, a Word document report. And there are some things you need to put in there. We list them. Here I've got some examples of tables that you might put in your report and some comments about the R-square for the various things. So once you finish up, then submit your Excel file. And I think you will probably enjoy this exercise and learn quite a bit about regression. Look to see you around in the class.